What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. It's the start of a new week. Bitcoin's price action is suffering a little bit, but we have, as always, more bullish news stories, more bullish fundamental news. Bitcoin whales are accumulating, and Ethereum whales now hold record levels of ETH. Israel is in the process of testing out their digital shekel run on Ethereum. And whales have been accumulating more and more Bitcoin as supply held by whales hits a 2-month high in a bullish sign. So we're going to be going over all those news stories as well as a bit of technical analysis. Bitcoin has broken out of this ascending wedge that it was forming, and it's currently sitting at about 33.5. Now, based off the fact that we did not put in a higher high here, I would suspect to possibly start a new kind of downtrend inside a channel like this. And so possible targets, I would watch this trend line, which would be right about 32.5, 32.6-ish, as well as this key support at 3100. Ethereum, however, is still hanging on to its ascending wedge. It is currently right now fighting to stay inside of it, and Ethereum did end up putting in higher highs here. So Ethereum is looking a bit more bullish on the short term than Bitcoin is. And one last thing that I wanted to point out is Cosmos appears to be kind of moving on its own right now. If you look over at my watch list, everything is down 5%, down 5%, down 4%, down 6%. But Atom is up 4%. It did break $13 actually here on this wick. Came back down. It's currently sitting at about $12.80. And Atom has broken out of this descending trend line that it was trading in. And if you look at market cipher B, I'd say things are looking really bullish for Atom right now. Clear uptrend with momentum waves, volume increasing heavily. We had an anchor wave. Guys, yo, let me know, is there a way to get rid of these things here? I never click any of these and all they do is get in the way of my market cipher B. Is there a way to remove those? Because I've been trying to figure it out. But yeah, and on the 4 hour, the momentum wave just broke above the 60 line, which on market cipher B, this is a little tip for any of you that are new. On the higher time frames, typically when the momentum waves go above this white line right here, this is a 60 line. Typically, when the momentum waves on the high time frames break above or below those, momentum is going to continue in that wave for a little while. It's like it's almost like, think about it like once it passes that line, think about it as a train being derailed, right? It's going to be pretty hard to stop it once it gets over there. Like right here, we broke across, and look what happened. We went up a considerable amount and hovered above there for a while. We broke above right here, and then we continued to stay in this area and are breaking up farther. And we have just broken out right here. And because of that, we had a nice little pump by Atom here. So yeah, it's usually a good sign when you see the momentum waves pushing above the 60 line on the higher time frames. So yeah, this is good for you Atom holders out there, myself included. I got a little bag of Atom, so I'm feeling pretty good today. So let's move over to these news stories here. So Bitcoin whales accumulating, Ethereum whales holding record levels of ETH. Crypto intelligence platform Santiment reports that large Bitcoin holders are continuing to add to their positions despite the drastic fall in prices. Santiment says that Bitcoin whales who hold between 100 and 10,000 Bitcoin started accumulating amid the price crash. The whale trend is continuing to be accumulating. Over the past couple of days it hasn't been, but since the start of the crash they've been moving up. They can afford to be early, and that seems what they're doing. And it seems like that's what they are doing, and that seems what they are doing. Okay. Regarding the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, the crypto market intelligence platform says that its top 10 holders now own record amounts of Ethereum. Ethereum's top 10 non-exchange whales continue to hold record levels of ETH and are even inching upward despite the dip below 1900 on Monday. Come on, guys. Sentiment points out that the top 10 whales have also reduced the quantity of Ethereum held on exchanges, reducing the downward sell pressure. Meanwhile, the top 10 exchange whales holdings keep declining, which implies less chance of further sell-offs. So this is all bullish news. This just kind of backs up our points that smart money is accumulating right now, and it's the newer investors in the space that got in because of the hype train. They're all jumping off the hype train right now. But those of us that stick on are going to be the first ones to benefit when that train comes back around the track. Ethereum continues to score over Ripple as Bank of Israel uses ETH for digital shekel trial. It is reported that Ethereum is being used for the trial of a digital shekel by the Bank of Israel. This was confirmed by a spokesman of the bank. The race is well and truly on between the central banks to introduce digital currencies, and the race is among the various blockchains as well, as Ethereum, Ripple, and other compete for this lucrative business. They realize the importance of being adopted for such central bank digital currencies, and each of them has competing technologies to enable CBDCs, which puts them in direct competition with each other to convince the banks to use their technology. The current technology that is being tried out by the Bank of Israel is also reportedly being tried out by the central banks of Hong Kong, Thailand, and Australia as well. It is also believed that China is also well on its way to launch its own digital currency, and the decks are being cleared for the same, with the authorities there cracking down on mining and other similar activity over the last couple months. And I have heard some things about Australia. Maybe Australia ends up being a blockchain hub. This technology really provides opportunity for absolutely any country to really change their economy entirely. I mean, Australia already does well for itself already, I know that, but I've been hearing some things about Australia, bro. I hear they're really getting into it, especially with Cardano. So yeah, the digital shekel is currently in testnet, and it's being run on Ethereum right now. So if everything goes well, and they do end up using Ethereum for their digital shekel, that could be really good news for Ethereum holders, especially since if everything goes well, there are probably going to be more to follow, more countries choosing to use Ethereum for their CBDC or bank coin. We don't like banks, but when they're integrating Ethereum, alright, and lastly, Bitcoin supply held by whale entities hits 2-month high in bullish sign. The number of coins held by whale entities, clusters of addresses controlled by a single network participant holding 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin, rose by over 80,000 to 4.216 million Bitcoin on Friday, hitting the highest level since May. The number of whale entities has also jumped to a 3-week high of 1922. The renewed accumulation by whale entities is good news for the market, as these wealthy investors played a significant role in powering Bitcoin higher from 10,000 to nearly 60,000 during the 5 months to February 2021. Okay, we went over 60,000, and during the 5 months to February 2021, I don't think that's good grammar. I could be wrong. Okay, I could be wrong. I'm not an English teacher, but I do speak it. And that doesn't sound right. But yeah, guys, and here's a chart of the Bitcoin whale entities. They put some arrows and some text on here to really help you understand. Basically, the orange line is the amount of Bitcoin that whales own, and you notice that when it hit its peak at about 55 is when they started selling. It went up to 64K right here. They were still selling off, and now we just had a large uptick right here. similar to this one we saw right here. So what does that mean? It means that smart money is accumulating. Now, does that mean that we're going to immediately reverse? Well, not necessarily. These guys are rich, okay, and so they're not concerned with short-term price action. If Bitcoin dumps down to 24,000, excuse me, they're just going to buy more, okay? So they're just buying right now. It means they're confident in it for the mid to long term. They seem to think that this bull market is not over, and clearly that we're not in a bear market yet. Otherwise, they would not be buying. Alright guys, well, that pretty much does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed or found any of this information helpful, please consider hitting the like, hitting subscribe, and turning on my post notifications. I really appreciate all the support I've been getting recently, and I'll see you all tomorrow for my next video. Peace out.